Welcome back, everyone, to the State of Greater Western New York report as we kick off our America 250 series. Actually, America 250 technically may have started last April with the shot heard round the world, but the official celebration is this year, 2026, America 250 throughout the country. Everyone is celebrating the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, nowhere more so than the original 13 colonies, of which we are one. Although kind of like we weren't that big of a deal 250 years ago. But still, we're celebrating, and people around the greater Western New York area are celebrating. So we're going to be talking about one of the counties that's doing the celebration on this week's edition of the State of Greater Western New York report, which begins...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Menden Honey Lake Falls Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history. Welcome, everyone, to this edition of the State of Greater Western New York report. Join us each episode as we discuss fantastic topics ranging from history to science to the strange and the wonderful, as well as the treasured spirit with which our region has infused America. We challenge you to consider all things Greater Western New York, from our region's very beginnings to how it inspires, how it empowers, and why it is so admired. Here's the host of the State of Greater Western New York report, Chris Carosa.
Hi there, and welcome again, everyone. I'm Chris Carosa. With me today is Stephanie Dempsey. Stephanie is a big to-do at the local DAR chapter. Stephanie, tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe how you got involved in the DAR.
Sure. I have been a member of the DAR for going on 18 years now. And I am not only the district director for our area, which means I oversee the 14 chapters in our district. I also am our chapter's historian. I was the regent of our chapter for 6 years, and positions have to change, so now I'm the historian. And I became interested in the DAR when I found out my great aunt was a member, and it went from there. One of my patriots, as we call them, those who served in the Revolutionary War, is actually buried in Dansville, which was also very interesting and very close to me. So it went from there.
So your family is originally from Livingston County, or at least dates back to
Yes.
Livingston County. When did your relative move to Livingston County? Was it immediately after the Revolutionary War, or?
Well,
ways
Harmon
later?
Hartman was my patriot, one of my patriots, and he was one of the original pioneers of Dansville.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
Did
so
he-
both my parents are from Dansville.
Did he know, who was it, Captain Dan, whoever the name of Dansville comes for? I think it was Dan Faulkner or something like that.
Well, we recently discovered that Nathaniel Rochester signed Harmon Hartman's will.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So
there,
there's
there's a lot of history when you go back far enough into your family history, and not just you, but a lot of people. It's interesting how they're connected, especially if the family's been here for a long time.
mm-hmm.
I know my wife went through this genealogical, well, she didn't, her father did. And her mother really is the line that goes not only through the Revolutionary War, but all the way back to the Mayflower. So it was an interesting journey of discovery for the family. My wife was a little girl while they were doing this, and so they traveled throughout New York State and New England to find where people were buried who they were related to. So have you done some of this genealogical research for your family, or did somebody else do it before you?
A little bit of both. So my great aunt had to do a lot of the research, and I went off her application. But then I'm trying to think when it was, about 10 years ago, I did research for my grandfather, so he could become a member of the SAR, which is the Sons of the American Revolution. And when I compiled all that information, I submitted an application at the same time for my grandfather, my uncle, his son, and my son. So there was 4 of them who joined the SAR under, actually they entered under Harman Hartman.
So how does the application process go? Is there a form you fill out and then you just send it in and whoever it is, the powers that be, double check it and make sure everything is good, and then they stamp their approval and you're a member? Is that how it works?
I wish it was that easy. You have to have proof. So the first 3 generations, you need death certificate, birth certificates, marriage certificates. And then everything from there, you have to prove that you are related to the patriot or anyone served. It could be a woman too. I guess I shouldn't just say a soldier, but a woman also who served in the cause. But you have to have pictures of headstones. You have to have wills to show that there's a connection with the family names. So I have one of our members in our chapter, it took her over 2 years to prove her connection to her patriot. So it's just not an easy process.
So what would be an example of a woman who participated in the revolution? Is it somebody like Betsy Ross or maybe Catherine Hustler, who was had the little food truck that followed the troops? How do you define service in the war?
Service in the war could be a woman who traveled with her husband to, cook for the soldiers, mend clothes. We know of, a couple women who actually disguised themselves as men and served on the battlefield. Or if they house guns. We have some patriots were too old to serve, so they house guns in their barns. So anything that would have aided the service.
Now tell us a little bit more about the DAR and what it does in terms of celebrating their ancestry and really the American Revolution, the birth of America. What are some of the activities the DAR is involved with?
Well, one of them is education. We are very strongly educate the community, educate children about what our history is all about. And we also are very patriotic. And we honor veterans who have served even now. A lot of times, a lot of the chapters go to the honor flights at the airports, or they send care packages to VA hospitals. It's everything to keep our history alive and educate those who don't know too much about it and to honor those who serve.
Very good. And do you work a lot with the SAR or other groups as far as celebrating American heritage or patriotism?
Well, I know for the honor flights of Rochester, we all gather together, the SAR and the DAR together at the airports to honor the veterans when they come home. When we have events such as last year when we participated in the bicentennial tour of Lafayette, the SAR joined the DAR in that celebration. Also, if we do a cemetery dedication ceremony, the SAR is proudly there representing the SAR. They bring patriotic flags and they come all dressed up in their costumes and represent the men and the women who served.
The costumes. That's a great topic. I know a lot of people are always thinking, well, I'd like to join, but I don't really have a costume. Is it important to have period clothing, or can you just join in your regular civilian clothes, I guess you'd call them?
Yes. No, the men like to dress up. There are SAR members who do not have the costumes. It's only special events that the women dress up. For the Lafayette celebration that we had last year, a lot of us, it was fun to dress up. But on a normal basis, we do not, unless it
it's fascinating that in just talking about the history of not just Western New York, but American history, how enthusiastic people are about learning what really happened 250 years ago, or relearning, because they learned about it in school, but it was kind of dry. But then you have a mini series like the John Adams mini series, say, and it's vivid and provocative. Or you have the TV show about the spies, Washington spies. I
Yes.
forgot the name of it.
Yes,
But
Turn.
yeah, Turn. So
Yeah.
and that's done in a dramatic way. So it kind of brings to life, almost in modern terms. I mean, not quite, but almost in a way that people today can really feel a part of that revolution. What are some of the things that you've witnessed in terms of this? What do you see about people's excitement about the American Revolution?
Well, it's interesting, right after COVID, my chapter alone saw a huge interest in members joining our chapter. We are now at 50 members, and right before COVID, we had 38 members. And I don't know if it's that because COVID, people were staying home and had nothing to do except do their genealogy research. But I also feel that this America 250 celebration that's starting, I think a lot more interest will be people having pride in those who served our country and that they have a connection to our country's birth.
Now, if you join the DAR, are there regular meetings, or are they like Zoom meetings or physical meetings, or a place that you meet at? What do you do other than these events that you talked about?
Yeah, my chapter meets once a month, and in Lima. We meet 10 months out of the year. We don't meet in the winter months because some of my ladies don't like to travel in the winter. But we have a business meeting, and then we usually have speakers or special activities that we do with our chapter members. And then my chapter goes out. There was 3 community events we participate in: the Lima Festival, Crossroads Festival, the Livonia Autumn in the Park, and also there's the Old Fashioned Days in West Sparta that we participate in. So we get out in the community as well, having our chapter meetings. And just to note that our chapter established in 1908. So we've been having meetings for 118 years almost.
Wow. What's the oldest chapter in Western New York? Do you know?
Well, the DAR was founded in 1890. And I think the New York City chapter is the oldest chapter. I think that was formed maybe just a couple years later.
Throughout the Western New York region, what are some of the other chapters that, if people live in Rochester, is there a chapter there, or Buffalo, is there a chapter there? Where would they go, or how would they find out about them?
So, like I mentioned, there's 14 chapters in our district. There are actually 3 chapters in Rochester. There's the Irondequoit chapter, which is named after the Native Americans. They meet in Cornhill. There is also a Pittsford chapter and a Penfield chapter. We also have chapter in Penn Yan, Canisteo. Down in the Corning area. We also have in Newark and Watertown, and where else? I'm just thinking, I'm being thrown off by the names of the chapters that are running through my head, but they're all throughout the Western New York. And the one downside is Western New York we're all spread out. It's very rural, where you have chapters up in New York City area where there's no problem with people gathering and getting together and doing events. But when we're all spread out like we are, we have to make an effort to do something as a district, in Western New York.
Yeah, that is, it's not just the DAR, but a lot of these civic organizations do have this issue of travel, especially
Yeah.
in the winter. Like you say, it's good not to have programs in the winter because you never know when we're going to
Mm-hmm.
get a lot of snow. And
Yes.
it's for us, a lot of snow is different than in, say, New York City, where a little snow is considered a lot of snow. Or if you go down further south, any snow is considered a lot of snow.
Yes. Yes.
All right, well, when we come back, we'll ask you to tell us a little bit about the activities for America 250 that your chapter has planned and what's going on in Livingston County. But first, we're going to take a quick break.
Through the mists of time, nature and man have both created and buried treasures beyond the imagination. With the ages, these riches slowly dissolve into mere myths until they are forever forgotten. But there are those brave souls who tirelessly cling to the truth, ever seeking to discover the undiscovered, to reveal what has always been there, to uncover the hidden gems of a land thought forsaken but loved by millions. 50 Hidden Gems of Greater Western New York. Discover the secrets in your own backyard. Buy your copy now at 50hiddengems.com.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for being here. This is the State of Greater Western New York Report. I'm Chris Carosa, and with me is Stephanie Dempsey, who's put together a pretty good program with her DAR chapter for the celebration of America 250. Why don't we get right into it, Stephanie? What are some of the things that your chapter is doing in Livingston County to celebrate America 250 here? You can, there
There it is.
Okay.
So, starting in March, we are working with the libraries in Livingston County. We are setting up scavenger hunts for the children, elementary to teenage. You can see there on the screen, there's going to be drawings that the children can win prizes, a patriotic teddy bear, a signed copy of History Smashers, and a gift card. And then in April, we're going to make a social media blast, which is, in April is when the shot heard around the world. And we're also going to be doing a request for a proclamation for Livingston County to kick off the celebration. In May, we're going to be hosting a historical tea at a place called Elms Place in Avon. This 8,000 square foot home was built in 1804 by Colonel William Markham, who was a Revolutionary War soldier who came to this area, and he was actually the first town supervisor of Rush. In May, we're going to be participating in the Memorial Day Parade in Watertown. And then in June, there we are. In June, we are going to be working with the historical museums in Livingston County, and we are going to have a scavenger hunt. There we are. See, there's a little gentleman in the Patriot in the corner there, bottom left. Yep, there he is. He's going to be hiding in the museums, so people will have to go into the museums and try to find him, and then there will be drawing for a prize as well for those who complete all the scavenger hunts in all the libraries. And then in July, we are teaming up with the town of Lima for their 4th of July parade, celebration. They're working like on a car parade, car show, car rally, I guess they're calling it. There's going to be fireworks in the evening. There's going to be, oh, that's not yet.
Well, it's the time of Lima, so I figured
There
we
we
put
go.
it there.
So there's going to be family fun events during the day, three-legged races. There's going to be arts and crafts booths set up. And like I said, fireworks in the evening. And then in July, we're also going to be doing a cemetery dedication ceremony for Paul Davidson, who was the founder of Lima, who also served in the Revolutionary War. That is tentatively being scheduled right now for July 11th. Paul Davidson's birthday was actually July 3rd, so we're trying to get it as close as possible. I also forgot to mention back in June, we are doing a Flag Day celebration with the Avon American Legion, and we're going to be doing a flag retirement ceremony with the Avon Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts and the children of the American Revolution, also called the CAR. That's going to be open to the public. It's going to be in the afternoon at the American Legion. And then, let's see, I'm looking on my list here because there's so many things. In July, we are also going to be meeting at the Livingston County Board of Supervisors meeting, and we're going to be recognizing anyone presently living in Livingston County who may have patriots buried in Livingston County. The Livingston County historian is going to make that recognition. We have also compiled a complete list of all the Revolutionary War soldiers buried in Livingston County. We have come up with 198 names, and those lists are also going to be presented to the town supervisors. And then in September, which we can go back to that picture, it's called Bells Across America event. We're on the steps of the Lima Town Hall, and we'll commemorate the signing of the U.S. Constitution. And that will be the end of our, and that one too, we will be hiding patriotic painted rocks throughout Livingston County. And when the rock is found with the star on it, then that person will be winning a prize.
How do people find out, like, clues on where everything's hidden?
I think we're going to focus on like town parks, town circles. Information about all this, our events are going to be listed on our DAR website. That's www.Ska-Hase-Ga-O.
Well,
I always get that confused because you know what? It's not a net. I'll come to back in a minute. Here we are. It is www.Ska-Hase-Ga-O.weebly.com. I always forget that Weebly part. It's www.Ska-Hase-Ga-O.weebly.com. It will also be listed on the Visit Livingston County website. They have a special 250 tab that they will be not only listing our events, but also other events throughout Livingston County.
Wow, you've got a lot of stuff planned for this coming year. That came up a little bit earlier. That came up before it was supposed to. Don't read that yet, folks. How many people are involved in this planning process and the execution of it?
For our America250 committee, there's only 4 of us. But we are collaborating with, like I said, the town of Lima. We're also collaborating with the Livingston County historian. And there's committees in our chapter. So everybody has a piece and we all work together to do different events. So this is just the event I chose to be on.
I see. How did you come up with these ideas? Is there like something that came down from the DAR? The national DAR said, hey, these are a list of possible things that you could celebrate, or are some of these traditional in terms of your own local chapter?
I was a preschool teacher for 20 years. So I focus on the kids' events and simple activities that everybody can be involved in. You know, there's not a lot of information out there of activities because I think the DAR wants each chapter to come up with their own special program. There also isn't very many ideas on the America250 New York State website either. So we kind of had to cater it to what we wanted to do.
Do you find that I talked to a lot of people who were around during the bicentennial celebration, and they give me the impression that they felt there was a lot more publicity surrounding the bicentennial. I mean, we had cars that were coming out of Detroit in bicentennial colors, special run cars. Railroads painted their engines and cabooses in bicentennial colors. You don't see a lot of that.
We had coins. We had half dollars.
Yeah. Are there going to be coins this year? Have you heard?
I have not heard. I mean, I know they did the America250 U.S. postage stamps, which were pretty neat. But I also heard they couldn't get rid of them. So
really?
I mean, some places are sold out, but there's still places you can get them.
Are these forever stamps or are these a set dollar amount?
They were forever stamps. It all together made a picture. It was pretty neat.
Oh, I see. Oh, wow. I'll have to look and see if our post office still has any.
Yeah, there. I got a couple sheets just to have.
Yeah.
And then they gave information on the back of the stamps. So
I know that there are silver coins of the founding father presidents. I don't know if that's related to America250 or if that's always been around, but I've seen a lot more, say, those internet pop-up ads. Because of the research that I do. Apparently, I fit the profile of people who buy these coins, but they're like $100 each or whatever the price of silver is, I guess. So yeah, I mean,
unfortunately, that just dropped the other day. The price.
Oh right, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've also heard, there used to be big parades. I think the world is focused on too many other things right now than our country's birthday.
Yeah, that's too bad.
There's
because
a lot going on.
I remember I was in school at the time, and I remember like there were elementary schools would have like pie eating contests, soap carving contests, little like old-fashioned Americana type activities, events like on a weekend, a celebration, big birthday party. And maybe the PTA would do it. I don't remember who did it, but I remember that it was at the school, and it was a lot of fun, and it was something that stuck in me as a memory. And hopefully, kids that young today will have some activities like the things that you're doing. I like the scavenger hunt idea. That should be fun for the kids.
Well, it's also because on my other hat, I'm also the vice president of the Avon Preservation and Historical Society. And I know what it's like. People don't travel to the museums in Livingston County. So to me, this was also a push to get people out there to see what's history in their other towns. Yeah.
That's a great idea. Get people out there. I know I've talked to a lot of museums, historical museums, and they all are looking for events to have that would draw people in. And last year we had the 200th anniversary of the Erie Canal, and so there were a lot of related museums that had activities associated with that. So, well, Stephanie, thank you very much for being here today, and I want to thank everybody who's watching. Remember, this program airs live every Thursday. If you'd like to watch it as a member of the live audience, just go to stateof.greaterwesternnewyork.com and you can sign up for free. And Thursday morning, you will get the super secret invitation that allows you to click a link that will allow you to be a member of the live audience. And if you're a member of the live audience, you can ask questions to our guests. So we filtered a couple questions indirectly through our conversation today that Stephanie was very good at answering. Now, I realize a lot of people work so you can't get away for lunch on a Thursday, that's fine too, because the show is archived on our website, stateof.greaterwesternnewyork.com. It's also rebroadcast every Sunday at 1:30 on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. So like the page or subscribe to the channel, and those platforms will notify you when the rebroadcast begins. That's all for this week, everyone. Thank you for being here. Stephanie, thank you for being here. Bye-bye for now.